How's it going, fellas, and welcome to the channel where I kick back, relax and talk video games. And in today's video I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do the pick and roll. I've had a few comments in the comments below about how to do an effective pick and roll system, so I've got you guys. For all those guys that have commented down below, it's only one or two of yous, but for those guys I've got you. So over the next few minutes I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do the pick and roll in NBA 2K18. Let's get into it. So let's start off with the basics. For you guys that know how to run a half decent pick and roll, skip ahead. I'll put a little timer on the screen, so click ahead. But for you guys that have no idea about the pick and roll and are willing to learn, willing to try these tips, I've got you guys. It's not that hard to run an effective pick and roll in this game. It really isn't, especially with the slide by animations and things like that. So let's start off by just walking up and holding L1. All that does is brings the closest big man to you. So say if your power forward's closest to you and you hold L1, it'll bring the person closer to you so you can run a pick and roll. It's automatically going to be set to roll instead of fade. You need to hit R2 or L2, I think it might be R2, to change it to a fade. And what that does, it'll, instead of the player cutting to the basket, he will more cut to the 3-point line or cut outside to a mid-range shot instead of driving to the basket. But I will say one thing with the fade, guys, it doesn't really work unless you run around the screen properly and get an animation that hits the screen a certain way. It is a hard thing to do sometimes, the fade, but if you can run the pick and roll and get a certain animation, it works every single time. So that's how to set a pick and roll for your big man. So let's teach you how to set a pick and roll for your point guard or your shooting guard or your small forward. All you've got to do is tap the L1 button. That'll bring up icons. And what you do, whatever icon that you want to say the power forward is triangle, the small forward is square, the shooting guard is circle, whatever button you want, whatever player that you want to bring over to start the pick and roll, you hold that button. So if you want the shooting guard, hold circle and just hold it, and then the player will run across over to you and you run the pick and roll. Same with the one before, if you want to change it to a pick and fade because you've got a good 3-point shooter at the shooting guard position, so put it to a fade. Hit R2 and make sure you run around the screen properly. Don't run anywhere near the screen. You can't get caught up in the screen to get a stupid animation. If you get the proper animation, the guy will double team you, the big man will start to double team you, and your guy will automatically come to you no matter what, and it leaves the guy wide open for free. And the last basic tip is hold circle in my career to set screens. If you're wondering how you set a screen in my career, it's just simply run up to the position that you want, make sure you're facing the way you want to set the screen, and just hold O. As all I preach, guys, don't move in the screens because you will get called for fouls. Soon as you hit O, do not touch the DualShock in any way, shape or form, because if anybody touches you, it's a foul every single time. So just hold O, that's all you got to do, and then you run. Soon as the guy hits your pick, or your screen, sorry, soon as somebody hits your screen, you hit the roll or hit the fade, depending on your archetype. If you're a driver, drive to the basket, or if you're a 3-point shooter, hit out to the 3-point line, hit out to the corner, and it usually works a lot of the time. Like, I run it so much in my career, and that's on Hall of Fame difficulty. If you get an effective pick and roll in my career, Hall of Fame is easy. It really is, guys. It's not that hard if you just learn the pick and roll, and it's not that hard because I'm not that good at the game. So the next thing I want to talk about is setting up the pick and roll. When you're at the top of the key, you need players to move out. You can't have a standard offense if you're trying to run effective pick and rolls from the top of the key. It just gets too cluttered and it makes it so hard to drive to the basket and get any way near the paint because there's just so many bodies in there. So what I want you to do is hit R1 and go into isolation. If you even advance to know how to go into the 5-out formation, go into the 5-out formation and run pick and rolls from the top of the key because you have plenty of space. You can go around the pick, or you can fake to go around the pick and go the other way, and it's an easy drive to the basket. It honestly is, guys. With the slide by animations that you get, it's unbelievable how easy this is. So the next thing I want to talk about is setting up the screen on the wing. All you have to do, guys, you'll see it plenty of times in this video, is just run to the 3-point line on the wing, in the corner bit between the corner and the top of the key. Go to that 3-point area where that little line is. That's where I always go, where the little line is on the outside of the court. Just go to there and set up a pick and roll. This works a treat in my career. I'm sure it works in every form of CPU gameplay. It will work a treat. Trust me, guys. All you have to do, I can do this with a pure sharpshooter. All you have to do is set the screen at the corner on the wing area and just wait a second. Wait for all your guys to clear out, because it takes a second. But all your guys will eventually clear out after about 2 or 3 seconds. And it's an easy drive to the basket. Don't go around the screen. Just go around the player. Just run up towards the corner and diagonally towards the basket and hold R2 as soon as you're about to hit the player. Once you get that slide by animation, it's easy buckets if you make the right read. And it doesn't take long to make the right read with a bit of practice. The slide by animation is a powerful tool, guys. Trust me, there's so many ways to get easy baskets against the CPU by just exploiting this slide by animation. As I said before, I'm a pure sharpshooter, guys, so if I can slide by, I'm sure you guys can if you're the slashers or playmakers or anything like that. I have no speed, but I still get blow by animations. Yeah, I'm a bit taller and I've got a bit more strength, which could help a lot. But who knows, if I'm doing it with a pure sharpshooter, guys, you should be able to slide by easy with your archetypes. It's that simple, guys. You don't have to go around the screen. You just run around the player and get the blow-by animation. It's as simple as that. It really is against the CPU. In my park and human-controlled players, it's a hell of a lot different because they play a hell of a lot better defense. But you still can exploit it even against human-based players. Another scenario that can happen is the big man can come across to give a double team. What you want to do there is run around the screen, and if you've got any form of dribble move, see, I don't, so I sort of struggle a little bit, but step back, don't pull up. Step back and pass, because your guy, as long as you've set up that roll properly, it's going to be easy baskets, because the big man is going to come in for the double team. You're going to step back. You're going to bring those two players towards you, and then you're just going to hit the big man for the easy basket. It's really that simple, guys. Just the step back. As long as you've got a simple step back animation, just step back and pass. Don't pull up and shoot, because the big man will be on you, and you'll get a heavily contested shot against a bigger opponent most of the time, because if you're up against a 6'10", 7-footer, you've got no chance of pulling up in his face, so pass it. So the last thing I want to talk about is when the big man stays back and doesn't get affected by the pick and roll. What you want to do there, so he's standing back, I call him standing on the island, when he's standing in between the basket and yourself and isn't getting affected by the pick and roll, so he's waiting for the big man to roll or waiting for you to drive to the basket. What you want to do there is not run around the screen and try and get that blow by animation so you get the big man committed. Once the big man becomes committed, bounce pass or hit the triangle button so it doesn't get stolen, and it's an easy basket for the big man. Just wait till the opponent big man gets committed. Once he starts to move across to you, hit the pass button straight to your big man for the easy basket. Sometimes it does get stolen, and it'll take practice to get the timing right and learn the angles and certain things like that. But once you get the timing and the angles right, it's really easy, guys. It's every day of the week against the CPU. They never learn. They really don't. You can perform this over and over and over again on the Hall of Fame difficulty, like what I'm showing you in this video. It's not that hard. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. If you do like these NBA 2K18 tutorials, I had a bit of a stutter there, 2K18 tutorials, leave in the comments below what you're struggling with, and I'm happy to make a video for you guys. I'm happy to make any sort of tutorials to help you guys get better at NBA 2K18. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch us later.